it's my pleasure to share your Dvar Torah on Parshas Beha'alotekha from Professor Halivni. And I think this Dvar Torah is not only a Dvar Torah that he says, but it's something that he embodied and represents his own attitude towards others. And in our Parsha, we start with the issue with Miriam. Miriam and Aaron talk about Moshe, and they say, one second, Moshe, why? He talks about the Cushite woman that he got, and their problem, they said, only Hashem only spoke to Moshe? Halo gam banu diber. He spoke also to us. And Hashem listened to it. And they said, listen, Moshe Rabbeinu is not any better prophet that we are. We are the same. So it looks like the Cushite woman has nothing to do with anything. Because Hashem answers to them and says, forget about Ishat Cushite. You say the Moshe Rabbeinu that Hashem spoke to you the same way he spoke to Moshe. Moshe is very different. Moshe, Hashem, I spoke to them, God says, Ponim al Ponim. I spoke to them face to face, directly. To you, only in the dream. So this is very interesting. Hashem goes ahead and admonishes Moshe and Aaron because they merited to say about Moshe. You see that the wife, Cushite, was only some kind appears to be, that was only just an excuse to demean Moshe, to say that Moshe is like us, to try to go ahead and to lower the status of Moshe. Now you see the opposite in the next story. When Moshe Rabbeinu was in the Oil Moed, he was in the tent, you had two people who were actually prophesying, giving the outside elder to make that. Yeshua sees that, and Yeshua tries to defend his master Moshe, and he says, Adoni Moshe claim, you should go ahead, Moshe, and actually he shut them in. Moshe answers just the opposite. Are you jealous for my sake? Just the opposite. Would be better if all the nation would be prophets, that Hashem would put his spirit on everyone. So here's the opposite. Yeshua tries to protect Moshe. He's not jealous of Eldad Umeidad, but he's trying to protect Moshe. And he sees these people trying to rise above Moshe to become independent prophets. And he tries to defend Moshe. Moshe says just the opposite. By having people below me rise, the more they rise, the better I am, the greater I am. And that's the opposite of the attitude of Moshe, of Aaron and Miriam. Aaron and Miriam felt that by Moshe Rabbeinu being bigger than them would in some ways hurt them. So therefore, Professor Halivni understands that they try to belittle Moshe, to make Moshe as like them, that we are in the same madrega, we are in the same level. And by belittling them, for some reason they thought it would make them better. Moshe was the opposite. When he saw people trying to rise above him, he encouraged them, because the greater the people below you are or become, the greater you are. And this is how Moshe's attitude differed from Aaron and Miriam. Professor Halivni actually epitomizes this idea. The students that he had, he always tried to rise them to the best level possible, even above himself. I felt the same thing on my own. I wrote my dissertation on Professor Halivni's theory of the formation of the Talmud. In many ways, I argued with him. And instead of him trying to quash me, to quiet me, he encouraged me to try to be the best that I can be, even if I have to argue with him, as long as I explained what I meant and justified my own theory. Professor Halivni not only came up with this Dvar Torah, he lived this Dvar Torah. The same way that Moshe understood that by making people below him bigger, he's making himself bigger, he's growing himself. Professor Halivni did the same. He took all his students, all his disciples, people who were much less than him. He tried to make them feel bigger, to try to grow them, because he saw that that was his mission, and the more he made people grow, the more he grew. Shabbat Shalom.